What's up, Endurifiers? This is Mario, and I'm back with another episode of Endurify. And today, what I want to do is I want to share some takeaways from the most recent Growth Day video that I watched by Mel Robbins, where she talks about advanced wellness techniques for work and home. And so if you're not familiar, Growth Day is a platform where it's put on by Brendon Burchard, and there's kind of a live Zoom coaching that happens every single week. And all of the different talks from all these different coaches are all based on a singular topic. And the topic for the month of May is just advanced wellness techniques. And so Brendon Burchard, he talks about advanced wellness, and then all of these different coaches talk about the same topic, and they give you kind of their own tips and tricks. And when it comes to wellness, the way that I think about that is it's basically just having kind of like the energy and the confidence and the ability to go after the things that are important to you. And so, depending on if that's an endurance event, depending on if that's something with your business, if that's something with your family, whatever that is for you, you're going to need the energy to go after it. You're going to want the confidence to go after it. And so that's why I watch these videos. That's why I pay for this program. And just wanted to share some takeaways from Mel Robbins, from her talk. And basically, she started off her talk by just saying, like, all right, the things that you need to do in order to increase well-being, confidence, your purpose, and a sense of control when it comes to your day-to-day habits are super boring. And I actually agree with her, because a lot of times, people are like, okay, how do I have more energy? Or how do I, have better well-being? Or how do I have more confidence? Those are all things that I want, but I even know the answer to that question. And really what Mel Robbins started to talk about is, she said, the more successful I've become, the happier I become, but the more boring my life looks like on paper. And it may not be exciting, but the tips that she shared in this talk, she felt like are kind of the foundation to your happiness. And the first thing is, when it comes to wellness, the number one thing that she thinks about is sleep. And it's probably something that you don't really think about a lot, but it's super important. And so when you're pursuing a big kind of passionate goal or a life, you need to prioritize sleep. And Mel Robbins has said the more successful she's become as a speaker and as an author and as a businesswoman, the more sleep that she gets and the more she prioritizes that. And that's because it's impossible for your brain, your body, and your spirit to do what it has been designed to do if you have not given them the rest that they deserve. And there's tons of research on this, but she talked about how important sleep is to impacting your mood and kind of the negative consequences of pulling an all-nighter. If you ever pulled an all-nighter in college, or you're in a really busy kind of stressful job, basically the impact of an all-nighter on your brain is equivalent to head trauma. And so, if you want a sense of wellness and health, and all the other benefits that come with it, you must prioritize your sleep. And she talked about kind of the real reason around why your brain needs you to sleep. And that's when you're asleep, half of your brain can turn off and go into autopilot mode, but the other half goes to work and takes your experience from the day and starts to file them away as memories and knowledge to build on. And so since sleep is so important, she has a few different tips that can help you with sleep. And the first is just around a wind down routine. A lot of people think about a morning routine as a way to build, momentum and build confidence, but she actually starts with your wind down routine, which is the routine that happens the night before. And really what you want to do is you want to try and limit how much you're on your phone, a few hours before you go to bed. You want to stop eating at least 3 hours before you go to bed. And you really want to try and just eliminate screens and eliminate as much light as you can before you go to sleep. And another thing that she talked about was the importance of not having your phone in your bed. And the main reason why is just because we're all addicted to our phones. And when your phone is not in your arm's reach, you're going to get better sleep. And this is a big thing that I actually used to do, but I kind of got out of that habit, and I have my phone next to me all the time. And she's 100% right, because there's so many times where I'll just be laying in bed. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to check my phone. And then, I'm on YouTube, or I'm on Spotify. I'm on, looking up random things. And it's just one thing leads to another. And then you spend, 30 minutes to an hour on your phone, when if you didn't have your phone in the room, you probably would have just kind of slowly gone to bed. So that's one of the big things that I did is, since I have an alarm, I just put my phone down like in the kitchen, so that I'm not tempted to have that when I'm going to bed. So that's just kind of one big takeaway is starting to think about what is your wind down routine, and also getting your phone out of the bedroom. Another thing that is kind of different that it was kind of new for me, is the concept of setting your alarm intentionally. So I'm the type of person where I get up at the same time every single day throughout the week. But what Mel talks about is when you go to bed, you need to set your alarm intentionally. And she sets her alarm before she goes to bed intentionally, as almost like a commitment to herself that she's going to wake up at that time. And so instead of just, setting it on your phone or on your alarm clock for every day in the given week, when you set it intentionally, it's almost like, okay, I will wake up at this time tomorrow. And she feels like that's something that really helps her with getting out of bed at a specific time and setting herself up for success the night before. So might be something that you can try out as well. And then this last one that she talked about, of when you get up in the morning and kind of assuming that you've had a great night's sleep, you want to learn how to wake up for yourself. And this is kind of her philosophy or her mindset switch where, if you think about it, your entire life, you've gotten up for somebody else for some obligation or for some reason. But what would happen if you started thinking about waking up for yourself? Give yourself the gift of 30 minutes to wake up for yourself. What would that look like? And this is different from a morning routine, because what you want to do is you want to think of waking up for yourself as a gift. And when you master this, then you can put yourself first in other aspects of your life. So those are just a few little takeaways from her talk around sleep and kind of nighttime and morning routines. And those are the main things that I wanted to share with you today. So there are kind of 4 kind of tactical takeaways. And the first is around having a wind down routine. And that's where you want to go to bed at a reasonable hour, but you want to follow that formula to stop eating 3 hours before you go to bed, stop working 2 hours before you go to bed, and then no screens at least 1 hour before you go to bed, and have that wind down routine. The next thing that she recommends is get your phone out of your bedroom. That way you won't be tempted, and you're just not going to have all that wasted time spent on it as you're trying to go to sleep. The third is to set your alarm intentionally as kind of a commitment to waking up at a specific time. And then fourth is just kind of this mindset shift and this philosophy around learning how to wake up for yourself and viewing waking up for yourself as a gift rather than something that you need to do. So this is where I just kind of want to bring it back to you and ask you, which of those 4 things are you going to implement to help you get better sleep? Because it doesn't matter what you're trying to take on, if that's an endurance event, if that's, something with work, something in your personal life, having better sleep and getting more sleep is something that's going to help you with absolutely everything that you have going on. And so that's why I wanted to talk about it, and that's why I think it's so important. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that helped, and I hope you all have an amazing day.